Today we are checking out the Urban Americana, which is a 16,000 square foot antique mall located in Long Beach, California. There is 40 different vendors in this mall, and when I was there, I spent about 2 hours because it is pretty big, but I was in a little bit of a rush, so I would have stayed longer than 2 hours if I could. And sometimes I do because I do live pretty close to this place, so I like to go there frequently. So in this booth that we have here, a lot of the pieces are native to California and Mexico, which is really cool to see, you know, art and furniture and just beautifully made goods that are from where you're at, you know what I mean? And having that history, some of the pieces had like little plaques like explaining their history and where they were local to and everything. But the way this booth was set up too was very intriguing and exciting, and I feel like everything was really well balanced and placed to pique your interest. So my goal with my apartment and how I'm navigating it as far as decorating is I want every piece in here to be something that somebody's gonna take a second look at and be like, oh, that's interesting. Or yeah, just something unique. So whether it's my coasters or my coffee table or even my candle holders, whatever it is, it's like, oh, I've never seen that before. And where just everything is just so stimulating for the brain and interesting and unique to look at. And I think that's the beauty in taking your time to curate something. When you take that time, it gets that feeling of intentionality and purpose, and you can really tell that you thought through the work and creating this. I like to describe it as an experience. I love hosting, so I think a lot about, first, definitely for myself, how I want to feel, but one thing that helps me decide how I want to feel is how I would want a guest to feel. So I like to look at my apartment as a space where friends can come and kind of almost get lost in like a different little world, and it'd be a safe space for them to just relax. They don't have to worry about stuff. Like, I want to host and they can be cozy, and that's my goal for guests. And part of that is creating an experience. So decorating is an experience. It's creating experience. So when you take your time and you choose pieces like the ones we're seeing that are just so unique in themselves, each single one, you get something that is so deep and has so much richness, which is just so beautiful. And it's just amazing how much energy you can create and bring to a space when you're looking at it objectively and being like, what do I have here? How can I make this work? It's allowing yourself to try different things, because sometimes I have sometimes like my brain will go like, for example, okay, I'll put a picture right here. This is my little setup that I have, like a little cabinet with my lighting, some art on it, and you see the two lacquer mother of pearl panels that are on the top. Before I put it up there, there's 3 panels that I have total. The set originally has 4, but when I bought them, they only had 3, so I bought the 3. And originally I was like, I'm gonna put all 3 there, it's gonna look good, So I put it up thinking, okay, symmetry, you know, this is how I want it to look. And I was looking at it and it was like, it looks nice, but I'm bored. And I was like, there's nothing interesting about it. Let me challenge myself to move these things around and put different things up here and see what works. And I realized I have this beautiful lamp from, I'm trying to find the exact date, but it ranges from 1895 to 1905. I'll get into that about that lamp another time in another video, but I decided, let me create that balance, you know, opposing the 2 panels, and decorated kind of around it. And the 3rd panel I put in my bedroom to the side of my door. You can see it right here. It's kind of nice because it kind of ties in to the apartment. So I have a completely different vibe in my bedroom, but there's something kind of creating that entire cohesive story that decorating is telling, essentially. What I think is so amazing is how just having one piece be different in your room can change the entire vibe and the entire energy of what you're going for. And it's really interesting because I might have an item I place somewhere and it maybe brings a more moody, rustic type of vibe, but maybe I switch it out for something bright and colorful, then it makes it feel like livelier and more like joyful. I think it's so interesting when you're creating something and you're taking that into account. And honestly, I think it's a good idea to switch it around as well. It's like you don't have to stick to something permanently. So I really enjoy that. That's part of what I love, what I'm doing the most, is that I get to experience so many different items and appreciate them, and they bring me joy, and then I send them on their way to new homes, and then I get to experience brand new items. When you love vintage and antique things and you go thrifting into an estate sales, and you just find all these different gorgeous pieces and you just want to experience all of them. It's not about the fact that it's a material good. It's the fact it has energy, it has beautiful art. It's bringing something into your home and into your space. So it's nice because I might have like a bowl, like also in my entryway table, it's this one right here. I have a bowl, so my catch dish for my keys, I put my wallet in there, sometimes my glasses, and that bowl ends up switching a lot because I'll put something and then if it sells I'll put another one, and it just makes me so happy. And it's the little things that I look forward to every day is, I get to come home and see the beautiful bowl. On that note, it's pretty interesting because once I started decorating, not worried that it was set in stone, and I was like, if I don't like it, I can just switch it out. And then when I switched out something, it works great. I started having more fun with decorating because I could just let myself be. And sometimes I have days where, I'm usually an off day from work. I'm, watering my plants, I'm cleaning my apartment. Sometimes I'll be like, I want to switch it out today, and I'll switch photos. Sometimes I'll switch the candle, like a candle holder with another one. I changed the ashtray on my coffee table, it holds my incense. I just change the things I have, and it's really fun. It makes me happy. And there's pieces that I will never let go of that will forever be staples in wherever I live because they're just timeless. Like that lamp is it's to die for. I found it at an auction. Ended up costing me like $7 because it was in a lot. It's amazing. I just can never part with it. And it's funny because, actually, I'll link a video soon talking about this lamp and my favorite things in my apartment. I'll do an apartment tour video. So it's going to be focusing on how you can turn like a really average apartment into something really nice. Because a lot of times what happens for me is when I'm watching a lot of videos like decorating my Victorian style home or whatever, like a lot of the spaces already have the setup and the base for it. And I think it's harder when you're starting from the quote unquote millennial greige with gray tiles or gray board like floors. And I learned to not work against the space, but to work with it because I really wanted a dark and moody vibe. And I was like, I'm not gonna paint it, that's a lot of work, and I really want to take care of this apartment, but I still want a type of vibe. So I worked with it, and I almost got this bright, moody vibe, which is really cozy and very earthy. And I worked with it. I have beautiful natural light in here, so I thought, let me use the beautiful natural light. Like, this room isn't meant to be dark and moody. It has beautiful light in it. Through my choices in decorating, I have gotten that vibe that I like. Antique malls and thrift stores are just honestly my heaven. It's my happy place. I can just get lost in there for hours and just forget about like life stuff and just go to different worlds, and each thing you're figuring out what year it's probably from. And I like to do that. I like to play a game with myself. I'll be like, guess what year, guess what kind of wood it is, and I'll read the tag to see if I got it right. And I love a tag that goes into detail. You can tell like boots, the whoever runs it really likes their history more, and they really do deep research on the items that they sell. So those booths always, I really appreciate those because I want to know more about the item. I don't just want to read like antique cup, you know what I mean? Like I want to see, okay, what year is it? Who's the producers? Yeah, like different, I want to know about it. I do like going through the tags and playing guessing games, and then I find I learn that way because then I take a step back and I examine why, and sometimes I'll do a Google search why certain design styles are popular and whatnot. What really stuck out to me about this booth was the art, and I love all the contrasting colors, and I can tell whoever curated this really likes expression and just a very fun type of vibe, because I think it's really cool how when you're visiting different booths in the malls, you can get the personality of whoever's booth it is, and I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about going to antique malls is seeing people's personalities come out. Like here, totally different vibe from the other one, it's a little more modern, the past one. This one is more like cozy, almost cottage feel. There was a couple different Chinese pieces spread throughout, which I love because but in my apartment it's heavily Chinese style. A lot of items from China, a lot of vintage and antique like jars and vases. I have a lot of art as well, so that's something I gravitate towards, especially like the lacquer boxes and whatnot. I still need to get a ginger jar lamp like the ones we can see here, but I haven't found quite the right one yet, and my apartment's not too big and I do have a few lamps already, so I probably have to maybe find a smaller one. I could also make one, but I would love to have a older one. Beautiful art on the walls here. One thing I love about antique malls and thrift stores is how each time you go, it's a different experience. If it's a store where there's product actually moving in and out, you're always going to see different and new things, and sometimes you see the same things, but they look different next to different items in different colors, or maybe each time you see something that maybe you don't really like, it kind of grows on you each time you visit the store and you see it. So that's why it's really cool, like, to go to the same shops, you know, like once a week and just see how they change. Their stores, especially daily, you're gonna see a lot of movement and stuff, but with the antique malls and booths and antique stores, it's really cool going like once a week. And or sometimes you see items that are gone and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, they probably just put that out because it's like an absolutely beautiful piece that if I was able to buy, I would buy it. Especially sometimes I come across these booths where the person who owns the booth has a similar style to mine, and I'll be like, oh my god, I love how their brain works, and all the pieces they have are super nice and cute and gorgeous, and I'm like, I want to buy it all. But I can't afford that. So one of these days I just want to give myself a whole afternoon and spend like 4 hours in there. I've spent like 4 to 5 hours in an antique mall before. I will let myself do that sometime soon. I was really hungry, so I wanted to go, and I had other stuff to do that day, so didn't have as much time as I would have liked to. These curators are just so talented. Always blows me away. You can really tell when somebody has a sharp eye, and their booths are usually the ones that don't leave. Like, I've seen them for a few years type thing. Next year, I actually want to try to open a booth. I meant to talk to the people that were working here, but I wasn't quite in the mood to do it. So next time I go, I want to ask a couple questions. I assume they have a really big wait list of people wanting to have booths, I imagine, because it is such a popular place and the city is a very busy city. So, but you know what? I should ask. You never know. I went to one antique mall, Pasadena Antique Mall. I got the video right here. I was talking to one of the workers there, and she was telling me that I could probably get a booth even though there was a really long wait list if what I curated was really good, because I guess they were kind of struggling with some of their vendors not really having direction. Some of the booths that I saw were not the strongest, especially for that location, and they were kind of stuff you'd probably find on your average thrift store, hanging out in the thrift store any other day, you know, nice pieces and everything, but I wouldn't say had the unique factor or the rarity factor. So because of that, she was telling me, like, if you genuinely sell like more antiques and you have direction and you have style, she said, we need that. So if you got photos, show us what you can bring and we'll like talk. And I was like, oh shoot, that's why, like, you know, talking to people is so good for connections and stuff and whatnot. But I'm gonna do that here. Maybe next year. That would be a great goal for me. It would make me so happy. Then I could vlog my journey into having a booth and all that stuff. So and being able to create an experience of going into these booths as well, kind of like be talking about like later. But it's a dream of mine, so I hope that will come true next year. No, it will come through. It's gonna happen. I'm manifesting it right now. I absolutely love ephemera. It is like, especially antique and super old. It's just amazing that media, you know, photos, magazines, you know, these things that we're seeing right here, newspapers, it tells a story of what was actually happening at those times, and it's an actual piece of that time. So I think is one of the best ways to feel how things were during those times, because it's like right in front of you basically, and you can tell the difference. And that's why just photographs. Whenever I come across photographs, I'll buy them. At an estate sale, I got a ton of it. It was my first estate sale I ever went to, and it's like checkbooks from the 1800s, early 1900s. It's insurance papers and filing. It's tax filing, you know, records and stuff, and it's amazing. And it's old. It's so old, and it just takes you back. I have that in this video right here. You can see all that I got. I just go through everything that I found, and hopefully it's a good experience if you watch it and you enjoy it. Please let me know. Give me a thumbs up and a comment and a subscribe if you'd like. Now this booth here, this booth was awesome. I really appreciated just how diverse all the items that they had, and they still created this cohesive style and energy. There's a heavy sea theme that goes throughout their whole booth. I noticed like ocean, shells, a lot of natural like textures and neutral colors as well, and they all just blend together to just create this really warm sandy feeling. You get that ocean blue and that warm sandy color with a lot of things, and yeah, I just fell in love with this one. Oh hey, there's me. This gorgeous planter, 175. This piece, gorgeous. It was so majestic and tall, and like I just sat there and looked at it for quite some time. This table is just lovely. The colors that were in all that pottery. I didn't want to touch anything. Like I'd love to like pick up stuff, but it being an antique mall, I don't really have the same, you know, behaviors I would at a thrift store, you know, so I try not to pick anything up, especially knowing that, I'm filming this, I don't want to break anything, and I have to be aware of my surroundings to make sure I don't break something beautiful. I actually got one of those blue vases with those like little feathers at a local thrift store. I bought it for $10. Really unique piece. I haven't used it. It's in storage, so I gotta go get it. But well, actually no, I don't have space in my apartment for any more things. It's not that big. It's like 550 square feet, which is a great size, but not too much space to have as many large items. It gets a little too overwhelming. But this booth had a very heavy like historical American history, I guess, type minor vibe going on. And then they were also selling like some new items there for like rocks and stuff, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I really liked as well just the way all these pieces were curated. And it's interesting because you have items that are so different, yet they still create this solid piece of art essentially. The booths from like here on, I think I focused a little more on furniture coming up, and there's some really great, amazing pieces that I was just picturing having, time accurate home. Such unique pieces that speak for themselves. So this was actually the first booth when I walked in, and I instantly saw these lamps. If I had the money, I would have bought them immediately. I would have picked them up the moment I saw them and taken them to the front and been like, hold these for me, please. They were just like, oh my god, here they are again. I'm gonna pop up a photo. They just, so much character. I've never seen lamps that look like that. I mean, I've seen the style, yes, but like, just that lamp, those two lamps specifically, just wow. Like, I wish I was loaded. I would be, no, it'd be a problem. I would be here every single day. Oh man. One thing I realized when I was going throughout the mall this time around was how much emotion different pieces invoke within me. So just from the art, like, those paintings right there and these lamps, and they just make you feel different things, or the colors next to each other. And it's almost like exploring different sides of yourself you didn't know you had. Kind of like people, how we have different friends or family and they bring out different sides of us. I feel like it's the same with home decor and and art and beautiful pieces. Like, they make us feel different things, they bring out different moods, different energies, different things that we can connect to. Going back to, that's why curating your space is so important for how you move in daily life, and whether you feel energetic in the morning and inspired to get up and do stuff. I find living in a place that I love makes me happy is so much easier to get up and be productive, because the space around me makes me feel good. So important that we do that, because visuals are powerful and the things we see every day are very powerful. This is a little bit of a tangent, but that's also why I like to say your screensaver that you have on your phone, every time you unlock your phone, your brain sees something, right? That is the perfect opportunity to put some type of imagery as your screen wallpaper. That's going to make an impact on your life and like the things you're thinking about. And so I found that I take advantage of that, actually. So I have different wallpaper combinations, because like on iPhone you can like have the different, like if you press down hard on your screen, it'll give you the option to create different wallpaper setups, and you can switch between them, so it's really cool. So when I'm in a more creative mode, I have one that's more for when I'm more creative. If I'm feeling low, I have one that can help me power through. It says, you know, phrases that I like, or maybe it's a photo that reminds me or helps me calm down. So I use them for different things. So same as items in your house. Yeah, just find stuff that makes you feel good. Like, I have functional things. This is one of my favorite things, is functional items that are from different eras, because you get to use them every single day. It's not like, because there's decor, you know, that you, or art you put on your wall, and just stuff you don't actually, well, you're interacting with it, but maybe you're not handling every day. I find when you make those options the things you handle every day, it's so exciting. And each time, like for example, I have this coaster set right here, little photo right here, and each time I get coasters out, I get to pick up the crystal thing and take off the lid and place it, and it makes a little sound, and you know, and it's a whole experience, right? And so that is the beauty of it, and that type of thing encourages me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to take a shower, I'm being lazy, or oh, I don't feel like cooking right now. The things that I implement into those routines help me. So if I make food, I get to put it in the really pretty bowls that I thrifted, or I get to drink my smoothie in the really cool glass that I just found, you know, different things like that, or, you know, just things that make you look forward to, like, using them. So I like this one because they have an outdoor patio area, and that's, I find, not too common for a lot of malls. So they had all kinds of different chairs, patio setups, just beautiful pieces that, to be able to find them all in one. I'm realizing how hard it is to find older pieces for patio and outdoor. I'm on Marketplace, I'm on OfferUp, I'll be looking at different auction sites, but it's hard to find, like, you know, like outdoor bistro cast iron, and when you do find them, they're like really, really expensive as well. So I'm still on the hunt for my front of my apartment. I want to get a little bistro size table and just like one chair, and then I kind of want to do a whole garden type of look all around it. So that's gonna be one of my next projects. I'm gonna make a video on that. Yeah, I think that was really cool about this place, and I really enjoyed it. It was kind of a hot day. I would have spent more time out here. But I was kind of burning up and I was getting hungrier. So after I explored the mall, there's a really cool coffee shop right across the street. It's called Good Times. So I got, what did I get? I got a lavender honey latte with soy milk. But they sell the cutest merch here. It was super good. I also got 2 potato tacos. They have like a really good kitchen and the food is really good. A little expensive, you know, it's a once a month type of place for me at this moment. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I got some good stuff coming through. I hope you have a beautiful day, and thanks for watching.